The TrutherGirls.
Hi everyone, it's Sonia and I'm back here at the Hilton Bonaventure for more of the conference. I got here kind of at the end of the day, so I missed the last couple sessions, but Ken is going to fill me in on what happened there, and hopefully I'll catch part of this one that's going on right now. And so I'm going back in there and see what the Bilderbergers and bankers are up to today.
Those security guys from when we came, there were security guys from the conference. They saw the red square. Like, I don't know how that's going to pay tomorrow, but I hope they had a lot to drink.
We're not going to kick you out just for having a red square, are they?
I doubt it. I know Remy are too well.
Gotcha. Alright, so it's much later in the day now, as you can see, and I did attend the last session of the conference, the speech of Ketan Patel, who is the founder and CEO of Greater Pacific Capital. But first, Ken Fernandaz here is going to tell you a bit about the two sessions that he attended.
There was a very, very, very interesting speech given by the former head of the US Federal Reserve. He had served in the 4 presidents, Alan Greenspan, and he acknowledged that notwithstanding the tra-la-la that we give to these economists, they are singularly poor and inadequate when it comes to predicting anything relating to the market, whether it be boom or bust. But he also said that one of the reasons for the crisis is a disequilibrium that has been set forth over the last few years. And this is something that social critics, that is to say NGOs, civil society, protest movements, have noted for the longest time, but at the very least, Alan Greenspan gave them credence by having acknowledged the validity of their points. However,
what about the other session that you heard?
The main speaker, Dominic Barton, Global Managing Director of McKinsey & Company, was very, very clear on the point. In contradistinction to yesterday's speaker, he made it very clear that it is a fact, a well-established fact, that the 1% that holds all the wealth has become that much more wealthy, and the wealth has thus been much more concentrated in its hands to the detriment of the rest of society. And he said this state of affairs cannot possibly continue if we are to have any modicum of balance. He said that business has also a responsibility, a social responsibility, and if it does not recognize its social responsibility, then the whole society will be failing. Business itself is doomed to failure. And I think it was a refreshing break from the neoliberal heterodoxy to which we were subject to yesterday.
Also, a speech that I heard by Ketan Patel, what he basically said was that we've had globalization 1.0, and it really hasn't been working. There's been a shift in consciousness that people are much more politically aware, and they're aware of their rights, their human rights, and they're aware of problems with the government and industries and corruption, and that they're demanding change.
So the big shift is this. The big shift is that people, not the people necessarily in this room, but the masses of people, are sufficiently conscious, awakened because of this information, that they will not accept lame excuses as to why we have not solved the issues of the world.
And he said now they're protesting, but the next step will be that they will be going to their leaders and saying, we will kill you unless you change.
They may protest first about the banks, but sooner or later they will find their way to the leaders of their countries and they will say, not good enough. You either move aside or we will kill you, or we will be happy to die in thousands until you move aside. And this is the phenomenon, I think, that is sweeping the world.
What he basically was saying was that things are heating up to the point where the next step would be violent revolution. And so he said that we still have globalization, but it would be globalization 2.0, which would be the improved model, hopefully a more just and fair one. Though I'm not sure if that's possible. And he said that the American empire as we know it is crumbling, but that the new empire that would take its place and be the leader in the next step of globalization would be another American empire. So I'm not sure exactly how that would work, but that's what he said. And I thought that was refreshing that he would admit that there's so much of a problem, that we're on the brink of violent revolution. I thought that was pretty good that he would say that. What do you think, Ken?
Well, I think that there's no question that if the disequilibrium is not addressed, large-scale violence is sure to break out. This is a fact. This is if history is any precedent, and I believe it is, and history is certainly cyclical, then of course people who are excluded will claim their just deserts. They will claim their rightful part.
And the leaders, I mean, we're here with the bankers and Bilderbergers and all those others, and they know that.
But this was
aware.
But this was the point raised by Dominic Barton, and Dominic Barton was very clear. He said, business also has a social responsibility, and if it is not addressed, the people will claim that social responsibility. But Dominic Barton was of the view that the American empire is finished. The new empire is one of the East, and he said it very simply. He said the East is rising again to a position of preeminence in terms of competence, in terms of capacity, in terms of abilities. And he said, unless we recognize that reality, we ourselves are doomed to delusion. It was a very, very interesting, but he also said, that being the case, the East will also have to address the imbalances, will also have to provide for the people who have not, will also have to provide for the people who cannot. They have not because they cannot. And those people have also to be taken care of. And unless and until a society comes to that degree of equilibrium, it cannot succeed.
So in summary, what we learned today is that the elites are aware that the huddled masses are at their door with pitchforks and rope, and that they're going to bring in New World Order 2.0, and then hopefully it'll go better than New World Order 1.0. Are you looking forward to New World Order 2.0, Ken?
I'm looking forward to an order premised on peace, justice, and equitable distribution of wealth.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And I think that what the people are doing is we are putting pressure on these corporate elites, many of whom, as we learned yesterday, are pretty out of touch with what reality is for most of us. But they could make fun of the protesting, whatever, but they can see that consciousness is shifting, things are heating up, and they're going to have a change of plan, so let's hope it's a good one. So that's our summary of today's events at the conference, and thanks for watching, and thanks, Ken.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, and we'll see you next time. Haven't given up yet, and the rich are getting scared.